injuries are piling up. Dan, do not give in to temptation today. Adam, give us the latest on Brock Purdy.
Well, Brock Purdy is limited at practice today, Laura, but moments ago, the 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan said he does not have much concern at all about whether or not Purdy will be able to play Sunday's game against the Green Bay Packers. So it sounds like even though he is ailing, even though he's limited in practice, it does sound like Purdy is in line to start against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. George Kittle also limited at practice today, and the 49ers have felt good about the fact that he would make it back to the game this week after missing last week's game with the hamstring injury. The 49ers felt he was close to being able to play last week against Seattle. They decided to hold him out in his best interest, and now it looks like Kittle will be back this week. Nick Bosa not practicing today. Not a good sign on a Wednesday, dealing with a right hip and oblique injury. And unlike the other two 49ers that we mentioned, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, the fact that he's not practicing is not the way to start the week. We'll see if Bosa can make it back later this week to practice and make it back in time for the game on Sunday, in a game that the 49ers have to have. Would be critical to have him. We saw the difference it made in not having Bosa in the final drive of the game when Geno Smith scrambled for the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, it's a good point, Adam. You join us throughout the show. More news to get to. And, J-Mac, let's start there. Yeah. The Niners facing the Packers. How important do you think Nick Bosa is in this one?
Oh, he's huge. And Adam just hit it on it. The fact that in that game, up until Bosa gets hurt, the Seattle Seahawks have 6 points on the board, 87 total yards. He gets hurt, they rattle off 14 points. So you just look at this 49ers team, and his absence when he's missed games, they're 5-10. They're giving up a touchdown more and 1 sack less. So Nick Bosa is a guy that stands out, and we know that. He has so much of an impact on this defense for everybody. I'm looking at Leonard Floyd. If there's no Nick Bosa, he has to step up. He had some plays in that game on Sunday where he just destroyed the tackle. You're going to see right here, just throws him down and applies pressure on Geno Smith. The issue of that play is with Nick Bosa lined up on the other side. Now, this is in the fourth quarter. He comes off, he wins his one-on-one, and he's able to come away with a sack on a little bit of a stunt right there with the defensive tackle. He's going to have to be a guy that steps up against the Packers in Nick Bosa's absence if he's not out there, because let's face it, Nick Bosa is just a wrecking ball.
Yeah, I mean, when I look at the Packers, to your point, with no Nick Bosa out, that is an opportunity for this Packers offense. When you talk about what the Packers, what their trajectory looks like for the season, Jordan Love, there has been times he's been reckless, right?
Yeah.
Even in last week, there was a big throw to Christian Watson. We talked about it, where it's a field post, an over route, and he throws it. He launches into double coverage. Not the best decision. Well, going against a 49ers defense with no Bosa, the pressure rate is going to be down. It's an opportunity to say, hey, how do we mitigate some of these spurts of recklessness to do our best to try to make sure that throughout the season, we're making sure that we're progressing in a way that bodes well for the postseason. They're going to see a lot more cover 3, cover 4, a lot less cover 2 with no Nick Bosa the 49ers run. That all bodes well for Jordan Love because he's better against those coverages.
And they don't blitz. They're four-man rush. They don't blitz. It's a four-man rush.
I mean, listen, the 49ers are going to see probably the most creative run game in the NFL this season. Matt LaFleur is putting on an absolute run game clinic. And I think that's the biggest challenge without Bosa is, can they handle all those different runs? Number one, you are going to get 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, staple runs. We know this as duo, double teams. And look how they're connected, but also having vision on who they have to go to. That backside guard's like, is that backer firing? Nope, he's not, so the tight end can climb up. The backside guard and tackle collapse. Those are 8 yards right there for Josh Jacobs. But then he takes staples, motion across, okay? And just makes them look more than they actually are. Here comes that same motion all the way back. Now look what it does. Jordan Love reverses out. The tight end scrapes back across the other side. Look at the backer pointing out. Everybody's going to flow to the right side of the screen because everything is flowing that way. Look what it does seam-wise, though. You get the cut off the backside by the tight end, and you have so much displacement off a basic run. This run, I don't even know what it is, guys. It's sick. The backside tight end's going to cut the edge. The receiver's going to come in motion. Jacobs jab steps. Jordan Love makes a circle turnaround, fakes it to the receiver, and Jacob goes. So you saw that first run, that staple duo, San Francisco. You're going to see that. And then you're going to see this split flow zone, but it's going to look crazy. And then that last run, I have no idea what it is. I don't know if it's a counter. I don't know if it's a zone. I don't know. I asked
That little
Dan
jab
Casey,
step, though, I mean, like, that's actually a big piece of that,
well,
right?
You
Like,
get the receiver going that way, and then Jacobs jabs that way, and then they come all the way back across. A buddy of mine, Dan Casey, said he called it maybe counter solid or something. Green Bay's, they're fourth in the NFL in rush yards per game. They got 45 explosive run, which is also fourth in the NFL. I mean, San Francisco, you're going to get the ball run at you all game.
Hey, on top of that, they run hard, too. Like, once they actually get the ball, they lead the NFL in rushing yards after first contact.
Yeah,
so,
and it's everybody. It's Jacobs, it's other backs, it's Jaden Reed.
Chiefs facing the Panthers after their first loss. Here's Mahomes today.
Time where they can just kind of reset, refresh, find some different things to get to make sure that offense doesn't sputter.
Interesting. We've been wondering, too, about Marshawn Lattimore when we would see him. Dan Quinn said he's going to do his work on a side field today. You'll have a better idea on his availability tomorrow afternoon into Friday. Up next, it's time for